are certain firearms you can recognize without ever seeing the name on the receiver. The silhouette alone tells you what inspired it. And few designs have achieved that kind of status quite like the MP5. It's German engineering, an unmistakable silhouette, and a mechanical design that's remained relevant for more than half a century. But experiencing that design doesn't necessarily mean spending H&K money. This is the Century Arms AP5, and tonight we're looking beyond the silhouette. The history, the engineering, of course the craftsmanship, and the changes I've made to turn this AP5 into my own AP5. And later on, I've got a pairing that fits the international story behind the firearm surprisingly well. Let's get into it. Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to the Operator's Tasting Lounge. I'm Noah, and before we get started, I just want to say thank you to every single person who subscribed to my channel, everyone watching, leaving comments. I read them all and I reply to them as soon as I can. And for those continuing to spend more time here at the lounge, I really appreciate you all. It really is fun to keep up in touch with you guys. And if you're new here, well, welcome. This is a channel where we talk about craftsmanship, the history, and appreciating the work put into everything I feature here. This isn't a range review channel, but stick around and I think you'll enjoy this. Now, this is the Century Arms AP5, and obviously there's no pretending we don't know what inspired it. But you look at this and you do see an MP5, but simply calling the AP5 a MP5 clone and ending the conversation there misses some of what makes the firearm interesting. Because underneath that familiar silhouette is some genuinely fascinating engineering. Century Arms has been involved in the American firearm industry for decades and has become particularly well known for bringing firearms from around the world into the United States. And that's an important distinction here because despite the Century Arms name, Century doesn't manufacture the AP5. It's manufactured in Turkey by MKE and imported into the United States by Century Arms. The full-size AP5 is chambered in 9mm and uses a roller-delayed blowback operating system. And that's where we get to the firearm that inspired it. The Heckler & Koch MP5 traces its development back to Germany during the 1960s. Over the decades that followed, it became one of the most recognizable submachine guns ever created. You've probably seen it in the militaries around the world, law enforcement, special operations, and eventually movies, television, and video games. The MP5 became an icon. But underneath that iconic appearance is the part that interests me the most: the engineering. Instead of relying on a simple straight blowback action, the MP5 utilizes a roller-delayed system. Inside the action, rollers and carefully designed geometry delay the rearward movement of the bolt during firing. And that system became one of the defining characteristics of the platform. It's an engineering concept with roots going back generations, and we're still talking about it today. In an industry consistently looking for the next innovation, I think there's something pretty special about a mechanical concept remaining this recognizable for decades later. And when you actually slow down and look at the AP5, you can see another part of this platform's character. This isn't built around a polymer receiver or the machined aluminum construction we're accustomed to seeing on many modern firearms. You have that unmistakable stamped steel receiver construction. Look closely and you can actually see how this firearm comes together. The bends in the steel, the contours, the welds, the cocking tube, there's an industrial quality to it. And I don't mean industrial as anything bad at all. I mean, this firearm looks like and feels like a machine. The manufacturing process almost becomes part of its aesthetic. Then there's probably the most recognizable interaction with this entire platform. You pull the charging handle rearward, lock it in this notch right here, and well, what do you know? There it is. Is it necessary to make that dramatic every time? Probably not. Are you going to do it? Absolutely. But you know, there's another way of doing it if you want to be efficient. Well, and most things take practice too, but the way I like to do it too, obviously the slap is for dramatic effect, and it's very functional and works just as well. But what I do is I'll guide my hand with the charging handle and I'm already ready to go back into action. Rather than slapping it and coming back up, you're already going there, might as well. It seems kind of slow because I'm demonstrating, but you know, you do it a couple times, you actually get pretty fast and your hands are already ready to go. Situation dictates, of course. You've also got the rotary drum rear sight, the curved magazine, the magazine well, the selector, and that unmistakable receiver profile. Individually, they're simply components. Together, they create one of the most recognizable firearm designs in history. And I like that the AP5 hasn't tried to completely reinvent it. Part of the appeal is experiencing something that still feels mechanically connected to another era. So why did I buy an AP5 instead of going straight for the HK SP5? Honestly, because of money. The price was just too hard to say no to, and I've always liked this platform, and eventually I still want to add the HK SP5 to my collection. But when I had the opportunity to pick up this AP5 at a much more attractive price, I could not pass it up. And after actually shooting it, I'm so glad I didn't pass it up. This thing shoots phenomenal. One of the things I've noticed was just how little recoil I felt. Honestly, it almost feels like I'm shooting an airsoft gun. I mean, obviously I'm exaggerating a little. We're still talking about 9mm here. But it's incredibly low recoil. It's smooth, it's controllable, and most importantly, it's just so fun to shoot. For me, that's exactly what this is. A firearm I enjoy taking to the range. Now, my AP5 isn't completely stock. And probably one of my favorite changes is right here, the handguard. I wasn't crazy about the original handguard, and when I actually started shooting the AP5, I noticed something else pretty quickly: the heat. After firing a few rounds, I could already feel the original handguard getting hot in my support hand, so I replaced it with this. This is the AC Unity Wide MP5 handguard. It's made in Bosnia using an advanced German-made polymer resin and granulate, which helps keeps it lightweight while still giving it a surprisingly solid feel. One of my favorite features is the vented design. These openings allow airflow around the barrel area and give the heat a way to escape. Considering my experience with the original handguard getting hot, that's a feature I appreciate. And just to be clear, these aren't M-lock slots. They're ventilation openings. But what surprised me the most was the quality. I paid somewhere around $13 for this thing. And at that price, I wasn't expecting much. But honestly, it doesn't feel cheap at all. The polymer feels solid. The texture feels great in my hand. The wider profile is comfortable and it only weighs about 3.4 ounces. I also think it gives the AP5 that classic wide handguard appearance that fits this platform beautifully. And for what I paid, this might be one of the best value upgrades I've made to this firearm. And I absolutely do not regret replacing the original handguard. At the rear, I've added an SB tactical folding pistol brace. I like the folding configuration because it preserves the compact character of the platform. And aesthetically, I think it fits the AP5 extremely well. And of course, this is a pistol brace, which should never be confused with the stock. Moving on. And sitting up top is my SAUER ROMEO-MSR Gen 2 red dot with a 2 MOA dot. This AP5 is primarily a range firearm for me, and I wanted something compact and straightforward. So I figured, this would be perfect for the range. And I made a few simple changes that make my AP5 better suited to me. And I'll have the handguard, brace, optic, and the rest of my setup listed in the description below if you're interested. And that brings us to tonight's pairing. What do you pair with an AP5? I didn't want to simply grab something German and call it a day. The pairing should have an actual connection to the firearm. And the AP5 has an interesting international story. It has an incredible German engineering lineage, Turkish manufacturing, and Century Arms bringing it to the American market. So I wanted something with its own international story, something rooted in Germany, but shaped by influences beyond Germany. So tonight's pairing is Monkey 47 Schwarzwald Dry Gin. Monkey 47 comes from Germany's Black Forest, but its story isn't purely German. Its inspiration is connected to British Royal Air Force officer Montgomery "Monty" Collins, who spent time in Germany after World War II and eventually made his home in the Black Forest. His story brought British gin tradition together with the character of the botanicals of southern Germany. And decades later, that unusual history helped inspire Monkey 47. As the name suggests, its recipe brings together 47 botanicals, different ingredients, different traditions, different influences combined into something with an identity of its own. And that's why I choose it. The AP5 takes engineering with unmistakable German lineage, manufactures it in Turkey, and then brings it into the American market. Monkey 47 combines British gin traditions with Germany's Black Forest and remarkably diverse collection of botanicals. Neither one has a completely straightforward story. They're both shaped by different places and different influences. And to me, that's what makes this pairing work. Now, the Century Arms AP5 isn't an HK MP5, obviously, and I'm not going to pretend that it is. But I don't think it needs to be. I bought this firearm because the price was simply too attractive to pass up. And after owning and shooting it, I'm so glad I didn't pass this up. It shoots great, it's an incredibly soft recoil, it's fun, and it lets me experience the character and engineering of this legendary family of firearms at a much more attractive price. Now, eventually I'd still love to get the HK SP5 sitting here at the lounge. And when that time comes, I'd love to put this and the SP5 side by side and see exactly where the extra money gets me. But until then, I'm having a lot of fun shooting this one. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps support the Operator's Tasting Lounge, and I've got plenty more firearms, craftsmanship, history, and pairings coming to the lounge. Also, before you go, I want to hear from you guys. Would you buy an AP5 and make it, the way you like it? Or would you just save up and go straight for the HK SP5? Let me know in the comments. And remember, if you're interested in anything you saw on the AP5 today, I'll have that list down below in the comments, in the description. Once again, thanks for watching. And until next time, pull up a chair, pour yourself a glass, and welcome to the lounge. Cheers. Ooh, that's piney.